What's the most expensive mistake your boss ever made? I was the only IT person who knew how to maintain our company's custom payment system. When I started 4 years ago, the previous developer had quit without documentation, leaving behind 200,000 lines of spaghetti code written in 3 different programming languages. I spent 6 months reverse engineering everything while handling daily emergencies. For years, I begged for help since I was on call 24/7. My phone would buzz at 2 a.m. with urgent, system down texts, and I'd be sitting in my pajamas fixing bugs while executives slept soundly. Every quarterly review, I'd request another team member, showing data on incident rates and response times. My boss, Derek, would nod sympathetically before saying, "We don't have budget for another specialist, maybe next quarter." Last Christmas Eve, I was at my daughter Lily's school play. She was 8 and had landed her first speaking role as the North Star in the holiday performance. She'd practiced her lines for weeks, and I'd promised her I wouldn't miss it after working through her dance recital the previous spring. 15 minutes before showtime, my phone exploded with texts. The payment system had crashed during peak holiday sales. Online orders were piling up, and the retail locations couldn't process credit cards during the busiest shopping day of the year. I silenced my phone and turned it face down on my lap. Then Derek called, and called again and again. After the 6th call, I stepped into the hallway. "Where the hell are you?" he demanded before I could speak. "The system is completely down. We're losing thousands every minute." "I'm at my daughter's school play," I explained calmly. "I told the team last week I'd be unavailable tonight. I'll look at it remotely after her performance." "Are you insane?" His voice rose to a shout. "This is a level 1 emergency. The CEO is breathing down my neck. Either you come in now or don't bother coming back Monday." I peeked through the auditorium doors. Parents were settling in their seats. The curtain would rise any minute. "I'll be there in an hour," I said, feeling sick to my stomach. I slipped back into my seat just as the play began. When Lily's scene came, I watched her scan the audience, her eyes finding mine. The relief on her face was heartbreaking. She delivered her lines perfectly, but I barely heard them over the guilt pounding in my ears. As soon as the applause ended, I kissed my wife goodbye and drove to the empty office building at 10 p.m. The system issue was exactly what I suspected. A memory leak had triggered an automatic server shutdown. I restarted the services, cleared the cache, and had everything running again in 20 minutes. Instead of leaving, I sat at my desk and thought about Lily's face. I opened my laptop and wrote 2 emails. One to HR showing every emergency I'd handled alone for 3 years with timestamps and resolution notes, and another to Derek with my 2-week notice attached. Before leaving, I printed the 86-page system documentation I'd created over the years and locked it in my desk drawer. Derek called at 7 a.m. Christmas morning. I let it go to voicemail. He called 6 more times before I answered. "You can't quit!" Panic had replaced his usual arrogance. "Nobody else knows how the system works. The CEO is furious about last night." "I've offered to train someone for years," I replied. "You said no every time. I've documented everything, but now it'll cost triple my salary to hire an emergency consultant who can understand the code base." "This is completely unprofessional," he sputtered. "You're holding the company hostage." "No, I'm spending Christmas with my daughter. Good luck with your next emergency." They fired Derek 3 days later. The new manager, Jennifer, called me on New Year's Eve with an offer. Everything I ever wanted. I accepted the offer and spent the next month training my new team.